Hi, I'm B. I'm a senior attending Kutztown University with a painting concentration, and I'm also an intern at Juxta. Today I want to reflect and do an inner artist research, see all of what I've learned this semester, what I've done this semester, what I'm still doing right now before the semester ends, what I'm hoping to do in the future, next semester, or post-college. What I've done this semester is I've learned and researched and accumulated a whole list of artists, just to name a few: James Sienna and Jackson Pollock, and the artists from the internships. They are extremely wonderful people. I love talking to them. I love working with them, helping them out in every single way that I humanly can. They've all just been so inspiring. When you talk about things with them, like, they understand what you're going through or any difficulties that you feel like you are trying to get past, and they just know and they understand. For most of them, they actually give advice on what to do and how to navigate through it, or other times they like to listen, hear you out, and just let you rant. I've learned how to create different series or different versions of my work. So for instance, I made this one square piece where I literally just had stripes of colors, and there was so much texture, so much weight, so much depth involved with it. And I decided to make another one of them, but this time I would destroy it somehow. So it was the same idea, same concept. I did a grid on the top of it, used an X-Acto knife, cut out every single square, and then it was just left with a white background. I applied a grayscale to it, and that way provided some sort of contrast to the colors that I used for the original one. And now I'm hopefully going to make another one of them, just larger, and that would be the third version of what I do. I start by making an original, I make another of that kind, and then I apply the same techniques, or might tweak it just a little bit depending on the scale, depending on how much time I have. I was working a lot more with palette knives and adding texture, some sort of sensation to that work, which is a little hard because when other people want to interact with it, they're just like, I don't know if I should. It feels disrespectful. I have to wait for that invite to touch the piece. I've been working on different scales. I've learned that the scale definitely impacts the way that the viewers want to view the work. If it's huge, you're gonna feel immersed in it. If it's small, it might have some sort of immersion to it, but it's mostly about coming up close and being intimate with it. I think there's just that idea of being immersive versus intimate. I have also learned about the magnification, or being minimalistic with displaying details or hints of textures in my works. I have learned a lot more about colors. For those who don't know, I have this iconic piece. It's 4 foot by 4 foot, and what I did was I had one color and I mixed it with another, both having the same amount of color. I had this insane grid and I just mixed the colors and put them on the grid. It took over 200 hours within 16 weeks. And lots of all-nighters were pulled for that. By mixing all of those colors, seeing what colors align well with each other or different color groups, it just fit with the rest of my pieces. This semester I had my senior show. I've been learning how much effort goes into it, especially through this internship, as I'm a gallery intern, and it is a lot. I've learned about using nails versus thumbtacks. Thumbtacks make it look like it's a critique, versus nails it looks much more professional. Nails are a bit more sturdier. With my heavier works, it made total sense to use nails, versus if it's a really lightweight canvas, you use a thumbtack. I've also learned how to handle public opinions. I don't recall having any negative experiences with the show in regards to how to manage that anxiety of getting to interact with other artists, getting to interact with other people who know me and they're just like, oh, I really want to see your show. Just handling public opinions in general. I had so much fun making the title cards, but it would not have been possible without my mom. She was the person that would attach the paper to the foam core board. I used foam core just because that way it had some sort of dimensionality to it instead of just a plain sheet of paper. I've learned a lot about the poster making as well. The app that I used, it's not sponsored by the way, but I used this app called PicArt. And what it is it's kind of like a mini version of Photoshop, but you can do a lot more with it. I've also learned a lot about handling and transporting artworks. My works were mainly small. I was able to fit them in a box. It's important that you use cushioning for transporting, so things are not moving around, canvases are not going to puncture one another. I've also learned so much about the planning process. When you submit the application, are the images high quality? Do you have all the details that you want to emphasize? Do the works all fit together? Are they fitting the theme? Are they coherent? Professor Straplin, I think was the name, he's a super cool dude. He said, eventually you will have to kill your babies or kill your darlings, which meant that you may love a piece very much, but because of that love that you have for that, it might not leave enough love for everything else that may potentially work. Also, deciding what titles to give. So my pieces, I just usually make them without anything in mind, and I think that might be because of the adrenaline, like, yes, I'm gonna make this, it's gonna be awesome. Coming up with the titles are very hard because I see something but the viewer might not see it. When I'm looking back through all of my artworks that I wanted to put in the show, you want to have versions of this, series of this, and you just branch off the title with that, because if they were a pair, you truly want to show that. I also got to work with various materials. I'm expanding more with my palette knives, expanding more with chalk pastels, watercolor. I might dive back into oil. Hi guys, it's B here. I just wanted to say I'm actually gonna divide this video up into 3 parts. If I had all the clips together, it would be approximately a half hour long. I also just want to divide this into parts just so then that way the information is just not all clumped together. Rather, it's just in its own separate category. I feel that it each deserves its own video. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to see part 2 and part 3, also subscribe and hit that notification bell. Leave a like on this video because it really does help out. I'll see you guys next time.